Welcome, Beena. How are you? Hope you are doing good.
I'm good, Imran. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, Alhamdulillah, and so happy for you. You cleared your exam, and your smile is telling the how relieved you are right now. A lot
Yes,
of burden
exactly.
of a lot of burden off your shoulders now.
Exactly. I mean, after so many months, I'm so relieved. I'm so relaxed that I have at least achieved it and
Yeah, yeah, no,
achieved it well.
yeah, yeah. It's all above target, and it's really exceptional. And honestly, without any bragging about things, but I think you are one of the brightest students that I have really prepared because the thing that sets you apart that you never let it go. You just kept on working on the things. You kept studying despite your busy schedule. Obviously, you have job related responsibilities as well, and then you have some obviously being a female you have some domestic responsibilities as well. But despite all these challenges, you find the time to keep preparing, keep doing it. You played it like a test match, but you stayed focused till the end, and finally here you are. You are now a proud PMP certified uh, a professional now. So that's great. I'm really, really happy for you.
Thank you. But the great contribution is from your side as well. You kept me pushing, you kept me motivating, your follow-up calls, and all the time you said the same thing that you can do it. Go for it, go for it. So I
Yeah.
think your mentoring and your coaching was really, really helpful and supportive for me.
Okay, no, thanks. But ultimately, it's up to the student how much time and effort they can put. Since you were one of those students who kept working on it, so it was obviously my responsibility to keep you motivated. And if you remember, when you gave the first two mock exams a month or maybe 40, 50 days earlier, what I told you that for from my side, you are now ready. You can give the exam tomorrow, maybe.
But I was so skeptical. I was so apprehensive about my readiness. I till the last moment I was thinking that should I go for it? Should I really go for it?
Uh,
So I was not that confident.
Actually, what happens that people look for perfection. They want to be 100%. That is not the case, and this is what I was trying to continuously tell you that mm, you cannot be 100% perfect. The main thing is to apply the PMI mindset, and you should think like a project manager rather than someone giving or taking it like an exam. How you will be applying the PMI mindset in the scenario based questions. If you can do that, so you do not need to worry anything about it. But uh, but it's good that finally you have crossed the line. So tell us about your experience, how you prepared, and how you finally achieved this amazing result that you got all above target.
As far as my preparation is concerned, that was slow. And as you said, I was looking for the perfection. I read PIM Box 7, the complete book, Rita Mukle, the complete book, and the other materials. But after that, when I took training from your side and you shared the material, I started even reading that again and again. And every time I thought that, no, I still have to read more, I still have to read more. But I think that practicing mock was a game changer. So when you shifted me towards the mock, I think back in September and October, you said to me that now stop reading and start doing mocks. So that was a really different experience. When I started doing mock, I started learning why my question was wrong or my question was right. So the logics that built it the that actually connected the dots. So that was the time when my process thinking, my people thinking, my business domain side that got strong, and then I realized that how it actually works.
And you remember I told you that you do not need to read any books, anything.
Exactly.
Yeah, and but obviously it is up to the students. But now, if you let's say if you have to go back, if you have to prepare again, so how would you approach the overall preparation? Do you think that the training material or the things that you got from my side, should that be enough for you to prepare for the exam, or you will still be reading the PM book and the Rita and all the other stuff?
Provided material from your side, and the training slides were, I think those were sufficient. Those were very comprehensive, very detailed for PMP concepts. And I think if I go back, I wouldn't be reading any books, and I wouldn't be, going for any other material except those which you provided me. And especially the notes which you updated on your website, which you referred me to look again for my revision, those were really very, I mean, those were great. Those helped me actually to, those were best for revision. So I actually thought, why I didn't check them before. I would have
Okay.
consulted them before, and I would have checked them before. So those were very comprehensive, very to the point, and very, conceptual for the paper.
Okay. And that is why asked you to focus in the last 2 weeks just on the notes. And maybe, as far as I remember, you stopped giving the mocks maybe a week earlier as well. And in the last week, you just focused on revising concepts. So that is also an important aspect. And uh, Tell us about how was the experience in the exam and what lessons. Okay, before going to about the experience in the actual exam, so would you like to share some lessons learned or tips that the people giving or who are planning to go for PMP exam? So what suggestions, tips, or lessons learned you can recommend to those people?
The biggest step is that read authentic material, and
Okay.
especially rely on your coach or your trainer. What they are giving you, that is 100%, and that is the best. So what happens actually, and what happened with me earlier, that when you try to read so many things and so many materials, you follow so many instructors. Everyone is best at its domain, but when you start to follow so many things together, the information flows out of your brain eventually. And
Yeah.
there is a point when you get blank, that what is actually happening? Am I standing somewhere or not? So I think following, if you have a trainer, follow that trainer blindly, and follow the study roadmaps which they give you. That is best. And if you are doing it at your own, follow maximum 2 to 3 trainers, and then filter out what actually works for you, whose style matches with your pace, and then follow it. That's it. So don't cram the books or go for so many materials available online.
Okay. Anything else?
And especially follow as much questions as possible, because when you practice the questions, you actually realize what is the PMI mindset, and what is actually desired from us. Because there are always two right answers and two wrong answers, but selecting the right answer is the actual thing. So understanding what is happening and what is the requirement of the question, that comes when you start practicing it more and more. But
Yeah.
again, the authentic question materials.
Yeah, yeah, that is extremely important. This is what I was constantly trying to tell you. You were watching some material here and there,
Exactly.
and I stopped you from doing this.
Exactly.
And I'm glad that you listened to me, and you finally focused. And one more thing, you mentioned finding the right choice. Uh, what I say that you should not be finding the right option. You should be going for the best among the given ones.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Again, the best
exactly.
option.
Yeah, because sometimes the right answer may not be there, but
Exactly.
depending the scenario, you have to choose the best option
Very
that is
best.
available. Because you might have also seen these type of questions in the mocks that I gave you, and in the actual exam as well, that the wording or the scenario is a bit complicated and you sometimes get lost in it,
Exactly.
trying to find the right answer. So, yeah,
No, that's the right phrase, best answer, because you
yeah,
actually guided me on it. And when I practiced it in the walks and in the questions, it actually worked. So there is no right choice. There is only the best choice, which we have to opt.
and now if I ask you that I keep telling you and all my other students that let's say 50% of your preparation will come from the training sessions or the study material that you get, but the remaining 50 or maybe more than 50% will come when you uh, practice when you solve the practice questions, when you do the mock exam, you review them. So, how, do you agree with that?
Exactly, 100%.
Okay,
When
that's good.
reading becomes, more valuable when you practice it. So
Yeah,
just reading won't help it. I am, actually the sign of a symbol of it. And reading won't help you unless until you start practicing it.
yeah,
So when you practice more, it's all about practice. If you start practicing and practicing, it will enhance your flow, your capability to read the question, to understand the question, and then go for the best choice.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is extremely important. The review is extremely, extremely important. Taking down point, noting down the different points that you learn from this, and then you build on that. And I'm glad that you did that. Even you gave some of the mock exams on Excel, which I did not recommend to you. But by looking at your busy schedule and the time limitation that you had, so I gave you some on maybe Excel or Word files. And then for the final three, I asked you to please now give them on the student portal with the 4 hour time frame in mind so that you can go into the practice mode. But it's good that you did it, and finally you are here with a big smile on your face. Uh, so now let's tell about how was the experience in the exam, especially you gave the exam on the center. So how did you approach it? How was the overall experience, and how the questions were there in the exam?
The actual day experience was quite different, and surprisingly, it was pleasant.
Okay.
So when you are in the center, you are more focused, you are more, relaxed and distraction free. And if I tell you about the question pattern was altogether different than the mocks. It was hardly one-liner questions, or two to three questions were there with two lines maximum. No three to four or long paragraph questions. Nothing. There was nothing like that. The choice, the options were very precise, very controlled quantity of words. So initially, I was having something different in my mind. So when I started reading the question, I just one line and simple. I got confused that if I'm doing it right, is it so simple? So as on our final day call, I told you that I'm little bit afraid that how to maintain the rhythm in the first 60 questions, but
Yeah.
that was bit easy than the
Okay.
mocks, because thanks to you, your mocks were very difficult. And whenever I attempted them, I said that I cannot do PMP because my grades were not so encouraging. But that actually helped, because that made up my mind to handle the difficult thing. But when I attempted the real exam, it was bit easy.
Okay. Yeah, and that is the purpose of the mocks to challenge the students, and that is what I told you that don't the percentages or the result that you are getting from the mock exam, it is more than enough for you to pass the exam easily. And it's good. Maybe you may be the lucky one having one two-liner questions most of the time. But obviously, solving the difficult type of questions and going through that experience that must have helped you in the exam where you found that the questions are looking easy to you now after attempting 4 or 5 really tough kind of mock exams. So, do you agree with that, or I'm just
No, 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 100% agreed because your mock uh, were very, high quality, and those were, very, they actually helped me to understand that what I'm going to do. Those
okay?
help me to read the key concepts, the key words, read the question again, read the question slowly, and read the options, then connect them with the question. So your mock, exactly, I mean, your mock were best.
Let's talk about what kind of questions were there, like how much percentage were the MCQ type questions, and before asking that, you were really skeptical about that how many calculation related questions would be there. So how many did you find there in the
Not even
exam?
a single question.
And this is what I told you that at
Exactly.
max you will be getting one or two maybe.
I kept waiting, but not even a single question in which I have to do the calculations. I read the formulas by heart, and when I entered into the center, when I took my seat, I wrote the main formulas so that I don't get panic when the question comes. CPI, SPI,
Did they?
estimated calculation, DCPI, but nothing like this. Not even a single question. I didn't
Oh,
even, use my calculator. I used it once for my time calculation and nothing else.
okay. Okay, so that's good. So now let's tell us about what type of questions generally were there. Like MCQs were most of the questions were MCQ types, and how much you find the matching type or the hot heat map questions. So how was the format of the exam overall?
The format was mixture of agile, hybrid, and predictive. Agile
Okay.
was the highest, then hybrid, and then predictive. But it was combination. It was not totally agile, or it was mostly agile, but agile, hybrid, and predictive, it was all mix and match. So
Yeah.
one question was agile, other second was hybrid, and third one was again agile, then altogether predictive. And there
Mm.
were only three kind of the questions: what should PM do next, what should PM do first, and how he should have been avoided the situation.
This is exactly what happened
Exactly.
in the exam.
Only
Yeah.
three type of questions. As far as drag and drop are concerned, there were totally five. First,
Okay.
one drag and drop was in first 60 questions, the second one in other 60, and three altogether in the third set.
Okay. Okay.
And two were on the risk, like proximity, urgency, connectivity, and dormancy. One
Yeah.
was
The
related to
seven
that.
the
Exactly.
7 points that we discussed.
Exactly. The other
Yeah.
one was about marketing risk and technical risk. That was the matching. And the third one was like if SPI is less than one, is it good
Oh.
performance? CPI is
Okay.
more than one, is it bad performance? Variance is
Okay.
negative, is it good, or positive is bad? Just like this. And there was no heat map question. There was only one question in which there were four kind of maps like Banach chart, then SPI, CPI formula, WBS picture, and they asked that if what team has performed or achieved in agile, what will be
Mm.
used. So that's
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah, simple kind of question. Okay.
Exactly. And two to three were for, I mean, two questions were for multiple choice with
Okay.
limited options,
More than,
4 to 5 options exactly.
yeah, where you have to choose more than one option.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. So that's good. So I hope you found the matching questions that you attempted helpful as well in the exam. Uh,
Exactly, because I already attempted it from your website. You
yeah.
had a different set for it.
Really surprised and happy that you found the exam easy. than the easier than, because most of the students they get lost in the first 60 questions. But I think you were well prepared, and this is what I was telling you since last month, 1 month, that you are ready. You are ready. No need to worry. But uh, you were, since you were looking for perfection,
Exactly.
and this never happens. So this is one of the maybe the biggest takeaway from this video for anyone who will be watching it, that never go for perfection. Just try to develop that project manager mindset that PMI wants. So that should be the biggest takeaway from your experience
Exactly.
that you've gone through. So anything else you would like to share uh, about the overall experience, or
Time management was, as you told me, it's important, and I, managed it right from the mocks. So it's for everyone who is going for PMP, that try to manage your time in the mock, like uh, have a capping of doing first 60 questions in 80 minutes,
yeah,
then 60 in 80 or 75 minutes, and the last one in 70 minutes. What happened with me when I started, and I was thinking that my first 60 questions would take more time, but I ended up in 50 minutes.
yeah,
I
great.
reviewed my options, then I took the break. I stretched myself, I took fresh air, I went out of the room. And when I came back, I was a bit energized for the next 60. After first 60 questions, the difficulty level was a little bit higher. So the
Okay.
second portion took a little bit more time, but I was okay because I saved it from the first one. So
Hmm.
the second batch took almost 80 minutes. But again, in that period, I was reading the question very carefully, very lightly, even reading it twice. And I was going on a very smooth pace. And then my total paper was actually finished 6 minutes before.
Okay, good. And
So
uh, I'm glad maybe you kept my last day advice in your mind, that as we say in cricket, that play every ball on the merit.
I
So,
was about to mention that
okay.
I kept it in mind, and you said that treat every question like a ball a batsman plays, that it's a
Uh,
new ball. So your next question would be the new question for you. And I actually did the same thing. When I
okay.
attempted one question, I didn't look back. I thought that I have a chance to perform better on the second question. And it actually helped me. After 60 questions, then I talked to myself that, okay, 60 questions have passed. I have still chance to perform better in next 120 questions. Then after
Yeah.
second set, I told myself the same thing, that I have still the chance to perform better in the last 60 questions. So there was nothing in my mind what I did in the last question, what is coming in the next question. So maybe that was the trick, that was the tip which you told me, and it actually helped me to stay focused, calm during the exam, because I thought that leave that question, read the next one, and
Yeah.
attempt it like a new question, like a 100% question. So that was actually very, very, I mean, I can say a great tip from your side, which actually rang in my ears during the exam.
And that's why I saved it for the last day. But I'm glad that you kept that in mind and you actually practiced it. And maybe this could be the reason that you found your exam easy than most of the students. And I was really surprised when I saw your result, because even I was expecting that you will be passing above target, but it's still, you see, there is a bar. That bar is also on the higher side, so that is also extremely uh, satisfying for me, that you really did well on the exam. And
Exactly. The people domain was little bit more than the process and the business domain side, and it's all above target if I look at my exam evaluation. So that actually helped me during my preparation to stay focused, where to focus more. Like I was actually, when I started preparing, I focused more on formulas because I'm very bad in mathematics. So I always thought that I cannot do it. So I have to focus more on mathematics, on formulas side. But when you said to me that no need for it, then I shifted my focus towards other sides.
Yeah, yeah. Because PMI, I told you guys on the first day that you have only maybe 70 seconds to answer a question, so you will not be getting a complex kind of calculations. And why to bother if you are getting only one or two questions in the exam? So thank you for your time by joining the session and sharing your experience. That will also be helpful for all the students that or all the people around who are pursuing the PMP certification. And don't just let this go. Do not just before leaving, one more piece of advice for you that now the PMP is done, you have crossed the line. So do not take it only as a certification. What I would want you to start applying those concepts in your daily routine, daily work, whatever you are doing, so that you can do justification to what you have learned, and people will also see a different Beena working now. The new tools, techniques, the methodology, the soft skills that you have learned during this PMP. So you need to put this into practice because that will elevate your profile as well. People will should start seeing you differently now as a PMP certified professional or a project management certified professional.
Yeah, thank you so much, Imran. And definitely, this advice will stay with me, and I will try to improve myself in my work environment and even in daily routine where we are doing actually so kind of projects. So it's a great learning experience, very challenging, but now I think it's really rewarding as well. So thanks to you again for all the constant support, for your patience with me, especially, and your you are really really very encouraging throughout this journey, very supportive, and you kept me telling that yes, I can do it.
Yeah,
So this
that
is
is
actually your achievement.
that is why I am here. If I cannot do it with my students, then uh, there is no use of me being a PMP trainer. But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you, especially special thanks in putting your confidence in my abilities and whatever I tried to uh, tell you. That is also very important. So let's call it a day. Thanks again and congratulations again. Take care and celebrate.
Thank you so much. Thank you.